Today we are going to be looking at one major secret of negotiation. Why am I talking about negotiation? Negotiation is equivalent to the word bargain, but negotiation is majorly used in the formal setting where you negotiate your way around things. We all negotiate on daily basis. The person seeking to get a job negotiates with his prospective employer in order for him to get a good pay, good allowance, or good packages from the employer. The person buying something, you negotiate with the person you are buying from. The seller negotiates with the buyer negotiates with the seller. We negotiate on daily basis, and this is one of the greatest skills one can learn and cultivate in the 21st century, because everything is all about negotiation. Even though the negotiation in the online world seems a bit different from the negotiation in the offline world, but at the end of the day, our thinking is the same. And one of the major negotiation secrets I'm going to be sharing today is for you to acknowledge in any negotiation. Because even to get married, a fiancé negotiates with the fiancé. And I said fiancé because both words, the spelling of those words are the same, are different, but their pronunciation are the same. So a fiancé or a fiance, both of them are going to negotiate. This person has this, I have this. This person does not have this, but I have this. We can complement ourselves. And that was why even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the glorious Quran said, Al-khabithatu lil-khabithin wal-khabithuna lil-khabithat wa-tayyibatu lil-tayyibin wa-tayyibuna lil-tayyibat. He said in matters of marriage, Al-khabithatu lil-khabithin, a bad man should look for a bad woman to marry, and a bad woman should look for a bad man to marry. A good man should look for a good woman to marry, and a good woman also should look for a good man to marry. So this is the formula. You negotiate with people. You negotiate, even now, you negotiate with the algorithm of some social media platforms and a lot of other platforms. There's one thing you should know. Whether you are the buyer or you are the seller, whoever that is negotiating for his interest's sake. They are going to come at you with emotion. For example, you want to buy a camera and somebody tells you, you know Steve Harvey, right? Yes, I know Steve Harvey. Okay, this is the same camera Steve Harvey uses when he's shooting his Family Feud. Okay, that's fine. Or probably this camera is the same camera Mufti Menk uses. This camera, the first time I saw this camera was acrylic. Those things have really no substance on the function of that particular camera. Those are the emotions they want to use in getting you to buy what they intend to buy. A lot of books have been written about negotiation, about bargaining, about getting your way or having your way with people, with others. But one secret to all negotiation is that the person you are negotiating with is only seeking and serving his own personal interest. Once you know this person is going to come at you with some emotion. This person is going to come at you with many things, and there are basically four sources of knowledge in the world currently. And these sources of knowledge, science is a source of knowledge, religion is a source of knowledge, laws and regulation is a source of knowledge, then experience is also a source of knowledge. To those who believe in faith, who have faith, they will say the highest of the forms of knowledge is the religion. So in Islam, you go to the Quran, you go to the Hadith, you go to the Ijma, you go to Qiyas. Then science, you can't disprove science in most of cases, or virtually even in all cases, you can't disprove science. So if what they are telling you is not backed by these four things, majorly the first three, which is religion, which is science, and laws and regulation, you should not allow them to use emotion to derail you. There are not, although there are some times you want to purchase what is called in economics, what is called article of ostentation. An article of ostentation are those properties we acquire just to show wealth. For example, this goes against the normal rule of supply and demand with the price. Why? Because they are article of ostentation, they are things to show wealth, so they don't want a lot of people in the world to have them. But in negotiation, you must acknowledge the fact that whoever you are negotiating with has his own interest at heart. And another thing I will also be sharing with you concerning negotiation is a negotiation that happened in the glorious Quran, which is one of the best techniques that is used even in negotiation school, in business schools where they teach people negotiation. And it was the encounter of Musa and a man. Some of the scholars said this particular man was Prophet Shuaib, and some people said Prophet Shuaib lived 1,000 years before Prophet Musa, so it isn't Prophet Shuaib. I'm not a scholar, so I'm not going to go into the mix of who is right or who is wrong, but this particular narration is in the glorious Quran. When Prophet Musa left Egypt and he was in the wilderness and he wondered that where am I going? He had no place he was going, but he knew where he was coming from. But where he was coming from was a place he could no longer go to. So what did he say? He said, Rabbi inni lima anzalta alayya min khairin fakil. He said, Rabb, oh my Lord, I am in need of any favor you can send down upon me. Then Allah gave him the opportunity to meet a favor. He saw two beautiful ladies trying to cater to the herds they were herding, and they were unable to get water from a certain well. So Prophet Musa went close to them and helped them out. After helping them, then they told him, why don't you follow us to meet our father? When they got to their father, the two ladies, they told their father, they said, our father, this man helped us in herding, at catering for our herds, and this particular man also is someone you should employ. Why should you employ him? Because he's trustworthy and is also strong. This is a place where scholars also pick that these are some of the two major criteria as a leader must have. A leader must be trustworthy and a leader must also be strong. So when the father had already sensed among the children that these two daughters of mine, they're falling in love with Prophet Musa, with this man that they have come with. And after the man called Prophet Musa and told Prophet Musa that, oh Musa, I am going to give you one of my daughters to marry. Imagine a man that was in the wilderness, but he prayed to Allah and Allah has answered his prayer. And just from nothing, now he's about to get a wife. Wait for the negotiation that happened, the bargaining that happened there. So Prophet Musa والسلام, was approached by this man that I am going to give you one of my daughters for you to marry. And in exchange for that, you are going to work for me for 8 years. You are going to work for me for 8 years, but if you complete it as 10 years, it will be a favor from you to me. This was what this man said. Naturally, and psychologists have also validated this, when you put people in a box, people don't like thinking outside the box. So he has given Prophet Musa two options. He said, you can work for me for 8 years, but if you complete it as 10 years, it will be a favor from you to me. So this is the negotiation. And he has given Prophet Musa these two number of years. Don't forget, at the end of the day, Prophet Musa can still negotiate that I'm only going to work for you for 1 year. I'm only going to work for you for 2 years, 3 years, even 5 years. But because naturally, we are already confined into these two, naturally, 8 or 10. So what is the best way to go against, to respond to this fantastic negotiation strategy used by this man? Prophet Musa also answered, since he's a prophet of Allah full with wisdom, Prophet Musa said, in which of these two that I complete, you wouldn't have been unfair to me. Prophet Musa did not commit himself to the 10 years. Why? Because we don't know what the future holds. So he gave him two options. He also responded with two options. And that's one of the best ways to counter that kind of strategy. And this is one of the fantastic strategies you can use when negotiating even with your employer. That, sir, I will take from you 500,000 naira as salary, but if you won't be giving me a car for me to be mobile, then I will take 500,000 naira. You've already put your boss in a box that if he's an average person, he's no longer going to think of salary in 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. He's going to be considering, will I give him a car so that I only pay 400,000? He's going to think like a businessman, but the two favors you. If he gives you 500,000 naira, that means that is, you've gotten additional 100,000 naira on your salary. If he gives you 400,000 naira and buys you a car, it's also a win-win for you. So in your strategy when negotiating, sometimes you need to put two options, but make sure that those two options are self-serving. This is what I want to share with you in this episode. Till I see you next time.
Ramadan Mubarak.